You know, it hurts almost as much as stepping on a Lego? A Lincoln log. So it's been about a week since we last vlogged, and that makes us terrible vloggers, but I guess there's worse vloggers out there. A lot has happened in the last week. Chrissy is diseased. Or she has a condition.
Hypothyroidism.
It's hypothyroidism, not to be confused with hyperthyroidism. Which means that her TSH levels are elevated, but her T3 and T4 levels were not tested, but presumably the TSH being high means the T3 and T4 were low. Presumably. We're trying to get them to test it to make sure.
Got my results back from my OBGYN. My family doctor got those, and he looked at those, and they were quite high. Oh, my TSH level from those was quite high. So he said that I definitely have hypothyroidism, but they weren't able to test my levels again that day because their computers were all down, so he didn't send me up to the lab.
And then the plot thickens. The next day,
I went down to have my blood taken to test my THS levels again because they couldn't do them the day before, and I wanted to know what they were because I was kind of wondering if they were high because of the pregnancy. Because when they originally took the blood,
that was 10 days after the DNC.
Right? No, it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks after
exactly
the DNC.
2 weeks after the DNC. So I kind of wondered if that would have any effect on anything, because by that time I probably still had some HCG left in my system. I don't know how much it would have been, but anyway, so we went down to the lab the day after the appointment, and they called the next day with my TSH levels. Okay, and they came and they called me back with my THS levels from that day, the next day, and they were in the normal range. So at first they were 6.79 the first time they were tested, and then the next time they were 3.21, which he says is in the normal range, but from what I've been seeing based off the new schedule, or the new
standards,
based off the new standards, it should actually still be below 3.0. So it seems to be still a little
bit high. We've made some changes to our diet. Some things, there's a lot of we call pseudoscience surrounding the thyroid. Some people say eat a lot of protein. Some people say swear off protein or meat and fats altogether, and cheeses. We've studied on some things, and we've made some changes to our diet. The doctor gave Chrissy, was it
Synthroid? He gave me that day, based off of the 6.79 TSH results that he got from my OBGYN. He went ahead and diagnosed me with hypothyroidism and gave me right there some medicine for that, which was Synthroid.
Right, which we looked it up, and you know, it seems awful early in our lives to start taking a daily medicine regimen. Once, I think I'm of the opinion, I think that Chrissy is too, that once you start that sort of thing, it's sort of a slippery slope. It's pretty soon you're dependent on these medicines in order to just have a daily, a functional daily life, because your body becomes chemically not like an addiction, but dependent on them to maintain the balance.
And so what I read too, and what I've found from my research is that once you start taking something like Synthroid or some of these things, your thyroid becomes quote unquote lazy, and it's going to produce less than it should anyways, because it's so used to being able to get those through the medication instead of having to send out them itself.
Right, because Synthroid is it's a supplement. It's not a cure. It's a supplement to supplement what your thyroid is not
Yeah,
providing.
it's T4. It gives you T4 because
T4,
the idea is that
which is processed by the liver into T3.
into three. Yeah, right. So we had a birthday yesterday.
Yeah, we're actually the parents of teenagers now.
A teenager
now.
She's 13.
She's 13.
Wow.
Wasn't ready for this. I don't know if anybody's really ever ready, but we're just, gosh, 13. The thing is, I remember being 13, and it wasn't a very fun time in my life. As far as trying to figure out who I was and
They say middle school's some of the hardest years.
Right. I actually attended a class one time to be a substitute teacher, and the thing that they made the most scary was middle school. That's it's like it's all fun and games until you substitute a middle school class. It's like, and I remember back to being in middle school. I'm like, yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, middle school's a hard time because you've got all those hormones going through, and you're trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be, and trying to figure out all these things, and it's just
you're awkward.
Yeah, you're awkward.
You're physically,
your body's changing so much. And
physically,
you're like,
emotionally, and socially awkward. Yeah. And even those people who we thought were the people who had it together back when we were in middle school, they just that was a facade. Everybody's got weird going on whenever they're in middle school, but now we have a 13-year-old.
She's actually in her last year of middle school.
Yeah, she's in her last year of middle school. Yeah,
because it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, September 25th. Yeah, it's the way her birthday fell. She's younger than most people in her grade.
Yeah, she only missed the deadline by 5 days. Actually, if she would have been born September 30th or later, she would have had to wait a year.
Yeah. For her birthday, we took her to
Magic Quest,
and that's
that was her choice.
That was her choice. She picked it out. It's a little I don't know what you call it. It's sort of like an activity center in that's Sevierville, right?
Mm-hmm. Pigeon Forge, whatever you want to call it.
Sevierville, Tennessee. For anybody that's outside of this region, we call it Sevierville, just like we say Knoxville and all that. Nashville, yeah. All the vills are bulls for us, but yeah, Sevierville, Tennessee, and it was a pretty fun place. Kids
had a lot of fun.
Had a little sort of scavenger hunt sort of game
with magic wands.
Had a thing called the Vault that I thought was the funnest thing, and it had like lasers, like you see in the heist movies, the laser alarms, and you got to try to like do some acrobatics.
To not hit the lasers. Crawl under and go over. And you only got to go through that once, and it did not last long enough. It was the funnest thing.
Every time you hit a laser, it would add 30 seconds to your time. And Chrissy and the dude got a better time than me and Zoey did.
Yeah, what was that? I can't remember. Ours was 7
minutes,
or something.
And ours was 8 minutes.
8 something.
Yeah. I think the alarms were going off without us touching anything. To be honest with you, they had mini golf. They had the mirror maze.
Pirate mini golf.
Yeah, pirate mini golf, and a mini maze that took us like forever.
Maze. Yeah, the mirror maze was crazy.
It was it was so hard because it was psychedelic, and even we spent like probably 30 plus minutes in there.
Yeah.
And
well, it was also sort of dark with like neon lights.
Yeah.
And crazy music.
We did that, and then we did the pirate golf. And the pirate golf had a black light and everything.
Yeah,
it was dim. It was,
with neon lights everywhere.
Yeah. But the mirror maze messed me up so bad that I was like, I was walking around the whole pirate place like I couldn't trust what I was seeing because it was.
And also, you kind of just felt a little weird, like just walking around. I think I sort of felt weird.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'd be like, one of us would turn a corner and we look back and don't see the person and go around and then you think you see them, but there's a mirror, so it's not them, and you're like, hey, it's you, and that person turns around and is not looking at you, and you realize, oh, it's a mirror. They gave us little plastic gloves so we wouldn't put smudges on it.
A few of us, not mentioning any names, walked straight into a mirror. And I think Ian did too.
I fell over. Because I was walking behind her. I got a great view of that happening. Zoe got a cookie cake and
yeah, that was her choice too. She's not really a big fan of cake.
Cake, that's right.
Cake,
yeah. The dude. I remember the dude when he was a toddler. You would say cake, and his face would light up. And he's not even
He's
so
not
big.
really into cake that much anymore. No.
Part of our diet changes means that we're staying away from meats and cheeses. And our traditional diet, the way we grew up, was there would be a meat entree, sort of as an afterthought. We have some vegetables and stuff as a side. So staying away from meats and cheeses is difficult for us, even though as Orthodox we're supposed to fast 51% of the year, which means we stay away from meat or dairy on those days anyway. But we've just sort of winged it through all those periods whenever we have long periods of fasting or and
actually the last little bit. I've been nursing and pregnant and things like that, so
yeah,
I haven't had to observe that too
for
much.
nutritional reasons, we sort of but if any of you have any great vegan recipes or vegetarian recipes, we're trying to stay away from the cheeses too.
That's actually one of the hardest parts, is just a little bit of stuff that they slide into things that you might not really realize. So many things have a little bit of whey or cheese or whatever.
Right, mushroom and bean burgers have cheese that hold them together. That's the binder. And stuff like that. And we're trying.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff you see actually is not really vegan. It's you got to really check those ingredients.
Yeah. Anybody got any great vegan recipes? We'd definitely be interested in seeing them. The main problem we run into with recipes is that they require 20 plus ingredients that you have to buy that you don't normally keep around.
Yeah.
Looking for simple stuff.
Yeah.
We're not big fans of beans, so it kind of hurts us in the protein department. We're not, we do okay, I guess. But
the kids really aren't into beans.
Yeah. Zoe's playing Rock Band downstairs, and we're waiting for her to get done screaming. I don't even know if it's picking up on that. We'll just pretend it's not. Anyway, that's our update. I've been working a ton. We had a regular carrier get hurt, and we had a substitute carrier went on vacation for 2 weeks. So I've been working 6 days a week and carrying several routes a day sometimes. Pretty rough last couple of weeks. So you'll forgive us for being a little bit behind on our vlogging. But I think this pretty much catches you up.
A lot of medical appointments.
Oh, a ton of medical appointments. The dude lost that part of the cap in his tooth. We have to go Wednesday to have that redone. I went to go brush his teeth the other night and help him brush his teeth, and that same piece was missing, the exact same piece. So we got to go get that done again on Wednesday. But I think that just about catches you up. The sofa's starting to get real fussy, so we're going to close this with thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Well, we'll try to get them out a little more.
Welcome to the new subscribers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome, guys. All 10 of you. Thank you for coming along. And
normally we put videos out sooner. We don't usually wait.
We have been a lot more consistent, but yeah, it's been pretty crazy around here. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And we're fun people. And like and comment and subscribe. And have a good one.
Thanks for watching.
Don't grab my butt.
What
are you doing, bud?
I'm scared that I'm going to catch a spill.
Dude, oh, yeah. The guy told him that he had to hold his wand just like that.
We have to keep holding it upside down.
Anybody to tow it.
We gotta keep holding it like this.